What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another day on the vlog. Today we're going to talk about how I set my yearly goals and targets, and then I'm going to give you an update on our company on how we're doing on our targets for this year. So let's hop in. Let's go. Boom, boom. All right, so right now we're in a morning huddle. You can see our team's doing a little drilling. We're getting together. We just dropped another video on how to run an online sales team. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. Team's grinding right now. Let's take a look now on Ashley's computer. A little shallow in there today. Where's everybody at? Y'all want to learn how to set your goals and your targets so you achieve them. I'm gonna give you my secret, at least how I do it. All right, let's go. What is up, y'all? Today, I'm gonna talk to you about how I set my goals to achieve what I believe to be anything that I want. All right, so I'm gonna take you through the 6-step process. I'm also gonna give you an update on our company and how we are moving on our goals for 2023. Let's get started. Step 1, the most important, you need to decide what it is you want. I go through this process every year on December 31st, preparing for the new year. You don't need to wait till then. You can make your new year today. If you want to get started with this process today, decide what it is you want. The key here, you need to be definite. You need to know if it's money that you want, you need to know how much money. If it's a car you want, you need to know what kind of car, what color. If it's you want to travel, where do you want to travel to? You need to be very specific in what it is that you want. That's step 1. Now moving on to step 2. What will you give in return for what it is that you want? Nothing in life is free. In return for getting what you want, you need to be giving something of value. Is it a product? Is it your time? Is it a service? What is it that you plan to give? Maybe it's waste management. Maybe it's picking up people's trash. Maybe it's doing people's laundry. It could be as simple as that, all the way up to something like building a software, running a big company, but what is it that you intend to give for what you want? Now, moving on to step 3. You know what you want, you know what you're gonna give, and number 3, you need to set a definite date to receive what it is you want. So for me, I'm doing this on December 31st. I set my target for December 31st the following year. Okay, so if you're getting started today, when do you want to receive what you want? This is important. It needs to be believable. I wouldn't set it too far out, but I also wouldn't set it tomorrow if you don't believe that you can get it tomorrow. The biggest factor in all of this is you need to believe that what you're gonna get is possible. So when you decide on that date, make sure it's a date that you believe is actually possible. Step number 4, you're gonna create a definite plan to receive what it is you want. So you may not know every single detail. Don't worry about that. Create a baseline plan to get started to receive what it is you want, okay? Now, here's the key with this. You need to begin right now. Don't start tomorrow. Don't start in 2 hours. A lot of times, the biggest factor we see where people do not achieve their goals is they just don't start. They spend a month, they spend 2 months trying to plan everything out. So when you create that plan, don't figure out every single detail. That will unfold along the journey. Just get started right now. Create the plan and get started. Step number 5 is we're gonna write it down on paper. We're gonna take steps 1 through 4 and we're gonna put it into almost like a paragraph form. And the key here is when you write it down, you don't wanna write like, hey, I want a new car, I want a new house, I wanna be able to travel the world. You wanna write it as if you already have it, okay? This is super important because the next step is very dependent on writing it in a way that you feel like you already have it, okay? So write it down, write it in a way that you already have it. At the bottom, you'll put the definite date that you'll receive it and you'll sign your name. And now we're gonna move on to step 6. Step 6 is you're gonna read this statement aloud twice daily. Once in the morning, once at night. And the way you're gonna read it is you're gonna read it like you already have it. And I'm gonna share mine with you here in just a second. Sometimes I read it and I don't really feel it. And so I'll read it again and again and again until I can actually feel the emotions of what it feels like to have those things. And to me, that's the most important part. You need to actually not just read it mindlessly, but you need to actually have that emotion behind what you're reading. That's what makes this so powerful. All right, so now let me share my manifesto for this year. I wrote it December 31st, 2022, and it goes like this. This year, in return for creating $10 million, I have served people. This year, I've helped thousands of 9-to-5ers and new entrepreneurs make more money than they ever have from their laptop or cell phone. I have also helped business owners 5 to 10x their business. This year, I'm thinking bigger, I'm helping more, I'm saving more, I'm spending more, I'm paying more, I'm living more, I'm taking more risk, I'm buying more, I'm giving more, I'm creating more, I'm loving more. In effect, the people around me will benefit more. My level of being will inspire and change the people who have come across my path. I have become a multi-millionaire. The plan is the same, attracting the most talented people, building optimal systems, creating and being aware of opportunities, and becoming the best father, husband, and version of myself by following my daily practices. I am so thankful to achieve all of these things. And then I say $10 million by 12/31/2023. Signed, your boy, me. And so currently, we're about halfway through the year, and we are probably 20% of the way to this goal. There's two ways to look at it. There's one way to be like, man, we're way behind. Or the other way that you really should look at it, that I've trained myself, and I'm still training myself to look at it, is it's all unfolding perfectly. That's been a big thing for me. If we were to go back last year, my goal at this point last year, I was probably 5% of the way there. It wasn't even in the stratosphere. By the end of the year, August, September, October, November, we had the last 5 months of the year, our business grew in an unimaginable way, and we ended up hitting our goal out of nowhere. So right now, I feel like I'm on pace, even though on paper it says maybe we're not. If that's you, if you do this, you set your target, you set your goal, and you start it, and at some point you don't feel like you're on pace, don't worry. Keep moving. Your efforts, your energy, your intentions, they will compound. If you continue to do this every day, I believe that you will hit your goals, or you'll get pretty damn close, and you're not gonna be like, oh shit, this doesn't work. You're gonna look at it and be like, damn, this works. And so y'all should try this, implement it into your life, implement your goals into the system, see if it works. It's worked not just for me. I'm just one of millions that this has worked for. You should go check out the book, Think and Grow Rich. One of the most powerful and one of the most, well thought of self-help books out there. So check that out, implement this. This is how I do my goals. All right, so just another day in the life. Some days pretty, some days flashy, but most days are just another day. Let's go.